One of the biggest worries that parents have is whether they have actually prepared their children to succeed once they get out into the real world. Studies show that Generation Z, those who are ages 12 to 27, rank lowest for financial literacy. That ain't good. Here with some money habits to teach kids before they leave home is financial educator Derek Kinney. Derek, thanks so much for being with us. An important topic here.
It is, Jason. It's one that keeps a lot of parents awake at night. We want to help them sleep better with this segment.
Especially when you see those financial literacy statistics. So let's start off with the first step here, because we've got to break this into baby steps for parents. What should they be doing when it comes to discussing, just talking about money with the kids?
Well, the key is just that, is to talk. And don't have the lecture where mom or dad schedules the hour and a half boring drone on and on to son or daughter, and they tune you out. You want to say, hey, where do you want to go grab your favorite burger at? And hop in the car, let them pick their playlist, and then begin to talk about money, not while you're looking at each other, but when you're looking straight ahead. I've learned as the parent of 4, you can get so much out of your kids when you don't have to look at them, and they can just share their thoughts. And so just talking about money, asking what their thoughts are, what questions they've got, opens the discussion in a fun way and not in a boring way that puts your kids to sleep.
That's interesting, Derek, because I think a lot of us as parents take the opposite tact, which is to just spew information at them and not ask them a question and let them do the talking. Very good way of getting in. That's what makes you the expert here. Now, you say here that we should also be simplifying money. Exactly what do you mean when you talk about simplifying it?
Well, one way is to make it relatable. So many times we think that I've got to give this big description of how the stock market works, how a mutual fund works, how to buy and sell something. And oftentimes the best lessons, Jason, are the mistakes that you've made as mom and dad. You can say, you know what, son or daughter, let me tell you about one of the biggest mistakes I made, what I learned from it, and what I would do differently. Well, suddenly the kids are like, this is going to be great. Mom and dad screwed up. I want to hear this all day. And it connects you with them in a way where they want to hear more. And the goal is they ask you, hey, is there any more mistakes you want to share? When you get to that level, you're connecting really and communicating well with your kid.
You're going to have a little humility, though. That list is long of the mistakes that have been made over the years. But you're right. If you can keep your kids from falling into those same potholes that got you along the way, then maybe you can really help set them up a lot better. Another important topic that you bring up here is credit cards. And I think a lot of people would think, well, why do kids need to know about credit cards? What do you say that they need to know about the dangers of credit card debt?
Well, what I would tell them is don't shield them from credit card debt. Let them know that credit is a tool, and that's how the economy works. There's a lot of voices that say don't have a credit card, only pay cash. The problem is, Jason, the economy didn't get that news, and so it doesn't work like that. If you want to buy a car, a house, get a business loan, you need to have good credit. So I would encourage parents, this is going to go against what you may be told and be kind of spicy. Get your kid a credit card as soon as possible, or add them to your credit card. And the purpose is, while they're under your roof, training and coaching them to how to manage credit. That way, when they're on their own, they're less likely to go crazy because you've trained and coached them in a safe, trainable environment.
Totally agree with that. You've got to build that credit history for them, or they start out with nothing in there. Let's talk finally here about investing wisely. Again, I think a lot of people would think that, kids and investing, you don't need to necessarily talk to them too much about that. What's the best way to get into this?
Well, keep in mind, you can't count on the school system to train your kids about money, whether it's high school or college. It's up to you as the parent to give your kids the tools to be successful. When you understand that, it becomes more serious. But what you want to do is ask your student or your teen, hey, what are your favorite brands that you like? And have them tell you, I like Nike or Adidas or whatever the brands they like, and say, you know what, if you like that, do you think your other friends like that as well? You're engaging this discussion on practical things. And then you may want to say, you know what, let's do this. Let's buy a stock together in the brand of clothing that you like, and then we can track it. And so while you're wearing the Nike shirt, you're actually making money on the Nike stock as you own it. So these are easy, practical ways to make money make sense for kids, because if it makes sense for them and they see, here's how it works, they're more likely to be more savvy with their money in the future.
And you dip in slowly, and hopefully they end up a lot more financially literate than you are in the end. Derek Kinney, who has created anyonecanbeamillionaire.com. Thanks so much today for walking us parents through this.
My pleasure, Jason. Thank you.